Hey guys, it's Coach Cody here. We're going to talk a little bit about the muscular system. Now, the other day you did a brief exercise learning a little bit about the muscles. Today we want to go a little bit more in depth. Now, look at the quote at the bottom. It says, if you don't use it, you will what? You will lose it. You've got to maintain and take care of your muscles. Otherwise, your muscles will get weak and they will no longer be able to keep you as strong. So you got to use those muscles. You got to get out and move. Okay. Now, let me show you a picture of me when I was in middle school. Just kidding. All right. Now, did you know this is kind of cool? Facial expressions are made by the actions of more than 40 muscles. So even when you smile or you frown or you make that sad face, muscles is what's allowing your facial expressions to change. And they say it takes more muscles to frown than to smile. So believe it or not, you're exhausting your face when you frown. So go ahead and smile, middle schoolers. Another cool thing is that when the hairs stand up on your arm or your neck, they're being raised by tiny muscles pulling on each hair follicle. I find that very fascinating how our bodies work. And the last thing I want you to know that's kind of cool is that your muscles are 75% water. That's the reason why your parents are telling you stop drinking so much soda and juice and drink more water, because your body needs water to keep itself healthy and strong. Now, what is the function or the job of the muscular system? Here are 4 things that your muscular system does. 1, all body movement is done with the help of the muscles. All body movement. Your body will never move except muscles help move it. Okay. 2, your muscular system, your muscles pump blood through the body, and we'll learn a little bit more about that later down the road. It also helps to move food through your digestive system, and it controls the movement of air in and out of your lungs. So it sounds to me that our muscular system is very important. There are 2 ways that your muscles will move. 2. They either contract or they extend. So contraction is when the muscle shortens. It's the shortening of a muscle. Extension is when the muscle stretches or straightens. I like to think of it this way. When you go to shake hands with someone, you will extend your hand to them. Now, go ahead and bring your hand up close to you and then extend it out. Think about your bicep. What did your bicep just do? It stretched out. It made it longer. So extension is stretching, making longer. Contraction is to tighten up or to shorten that muscle. So the structure means what's it made of? What is it comprised of? What's the structure of the muscular system? Now, a muscle is made up of bundles of fibers. You have muscle fibers. But then you have major muscles, the big muscles, like the muscle in your thigh and your gluteus maximus, your hamstring behind your leg. Those muscles are made up of hundreds of bundles. So the tiny muscles, you have muscles even in your hands that do small things, but then when your big muscles, like in your thighs and your hamstring and your gluteus maximus, has hundreds of bundles. That's why they're so strong. Now we're going to look at 3 different types of muscles. All right. The first one is smooth muscles. And this type of muscle is concerned with the movement of internal organs. Okay. Your internal means inside. The organs on the inside of your body are controlled by smooth muscle. They're also called involuntary muscles because they work without a person's control. You don't have to tell it to work. It does it on its own. It's found in your intestines, your bladder, and your lungs. You don't have to tell yourself to breathe. You're just going to do it. And you're going to do it over and over again without thinking. If you have to go to the bathroom, yeah, you might be able to hold it for a while, but after a while, your body has to go. Those muscles go on their own. Those muscles is what controls these internal organs. So smooth muscles work on their own. Then you have what's called skeletal muscles, or striped or striated. And I'm going to show you a picture in one moment of skeletal muscles. So you'll see why they call them striated, because they kind of have stripes in the muscle fibers. The muscles are attached to bones that cause the body movement. So the body's movement is done with skeletal muscles. Think about it. It makes sense. They're skeletal muscles attached to bones. The skeleton is the bones. They form the largest part of the body's muscular system. There's more than 600 skeletal muscles, And I'm not going to make you learn all 600, so don't worry. Now, skeletal muscles are voluntary muscles. So if involuntary means you don't control them, then voluntary means you do control them. So before I raise my arm, I must tell my body to raise my arm. Now, I don't say it out loud. It's done in my mind. So when I want to raise my arm, a signal from my brain will go down my spinal cord to my muscle fibers in my arm, and then my arm will move. Now, anytime your body moves without you telling it to, there's something wrong. So, for example, if a person has a seizure, they don't want to have a seizure. There's some type of misfiring in the mind that's sending those signals through their spinal cord that makes their muscles start to contract. And so when a person has a seizure, that's what's happening, just to give you a brief understanding. Now, here are the striped and striated muscles. You can see all the different stripes in these muscles, and these are large muscle groups. So there's lots and lots of bundles of fibers in there. And then your last type of muscle is your cardiac muscle. And it's a special type of striated tissue that forms the walls of the heart. Anytime you hear the word cardiac, you know it's dealing with the heart. Cardiac. The heart, now get this, this is really cool. The heart is the most important muscle in the body. The most important muscle in the body. Once the heart doesn't work anymore, no other part of the body is going to work either. Don't forget that. So take care of your heart. Now, the heart can beat or contract, 100,000 times a day to pump blood throughout the body. Your heart beats that much. The cardiac muscles are also involuntary, which means what? They do it on their own. No matter how hard you concentrate, you can't make your heart stop beating. It's going to beat. Same thing with your eyelids. If you try to hold your eyelids open and don't blink, eventually they're going to blink because they are involuntary muscles. How do you take care of this great system? I'm glad you asked. Because if you don't take care of it, I told you in the beginning, if you don't use it, you will lose it. Now, the term for when your muscles waste away is called atrophy. Atrophy. If you've ever broken an arm or leg, after you got the cast off, how did that arm or leg look? It was skinnier than the other side. And the reason why is because you haven't used it in 6 to 8 weeks. The muscles gotten weak and they start to wither down. Okay, then you have to build it back up. So anytime your muscle wastes away and it wastes away from not being used, that is called atrophy. 2 good ways to take care of your muscular system: exercise regularly and eat well. Believe it or not, if you do these 2 things, a lot of problems in life you will never see. Eat right and exercise. All right, guys? And that is your muscular system. So glad that you joined me today. I hope that you will pay attention to these notes because you will see them on your quiz in a couple more days. All right, guys, have a great day.